Hello, it's me, TFR Wilderness, and welcome to the final day of 2019. Yes, it's Tuesday, December the 31st, the last day of 2019, and yeah, a couple of hours' time we'll be into 2020 and a new decade. So, end of month bot haul. Yeah, I always do these things, end of month bot haul, where I show you everything I've got Transform related over the course of the month. And it's a bit of a meagre haul this month. I've only actually got 10 items to show you. So let's get on with it, shall we? Let's not waste any time. Okay, now, back end of last month, you had Black Friday. And I really wanted to go out on a Black Friday toy hunt to see what bargains I could pick up. But I had already spent my budget because I went to the MCM Comic Con and I blew most of the majority of my money there, and I was umming and ahhing about buying, Titan class Omega Supreme at the MCM Comic Con, but I didn't. Then, come Black Friday, Smiths was doing a special offer whereby if you bought, they were doing special offers. If you paid over £50 for a toy, you got a £5 off voucher, and if you paid over £100 on a toy, you got a £10 off voucher. Now, going back to the back end of September, they did a similar offer where they did £6 for 50 and above, and £12 for £100 and above. But I missed out on that offer, but Mr. Rich Resort Rider took advantage of it and got his through that, so he got a little bit extra money off his. But anyway, as I was already pretty much done with my budget, I didn't want to go over my budget, even though there's all this money I've saved up throughout the year for I've saved money on the individual hauls. I've built that up, and I've got about 130 quid in the kitty. So I've got a fair amount of money spare above and beyond what I usually spend on my monthly budget. So yeah, that was something I had in my head going forward, and I was fully prepared to go over budget last month, but I didn't. But saying that, this Smiths offer for the Black Friday offer extended through onto December 2nd, Cyber Monday. So with that in mind, on Sunday, the 1st of December, I decided to go over to Smiths and got my Omega Supreme. Now, they had this thing whereby they had this little voucher that you had to download online, and then the idea was that you could only redeem the voucher in store, and you had to show the voucher. They had like a barcode on it. They'd scan it, and then you'd get your money off. But I downloaded the voucher because it downloads this voucher into Adobe reader, so you get this page with these these vouchers on. And when I went to pay for this, I went up to the cashier and I showed her the phone. She said, "Oh, we don't need to do that. It's already in the till." So I got my £10 off my Omega Supreme, and yeah, he's he's really good. He's my third Titan class figure, because if I angle the camera up, you can see I've got I've got Trypticon and Fortress Maximus. I haven't got Metroplex. I've sort of never bothered to get him, and if you want to buy a Generations Titan class Metroplex now, I mean he's pretty expensive in the aftermarket, so I don't think I'll be bothering to get one of those. But got me Omega Supreme. Yeah, he's a really cool figure. Really cool. Lots of playability, being in a big sort of city former. Well, when you say city form, he forms that sort of like rocket base thing. Because obviously his chest forms a tank mode, and you've got the track pieces here, and then you've got the rocket on his arms. And yeah, he does all that. It also comes with his little Micromaster countdown dude, and he's a pretty neat little figure in himself. So yeah, you get Countdown. He's pretty neat, pretty cool little figure. Turns into like little moon rover type thing. But then, you know, Omega, I like it a lot, and yeah, so it's I managed to get him £10 off from the Smiths, you know, Black Friday sale, which rolled over into December 2nd, you know, Cyber Monday. So yeah, it meant that I could buy him in this month's budget, and not buy it in last month's budget, so that, you know, I went over budget last month. So he was the first thing I picked up this month. Was you know, Generation Siege War for Cybertron Titan class Omega Supreme and Countdown. Yep, so quite pleased that I got hold of them. Then there was a bit of a gap then till I got my next item. I did do a pre-order with TFS Express for that Make Toys Cross Dimension Buster Stealth Wing, because they're reissuing that, and I kind of wanted to get hold of that to go with my my Strike Noir. So I've done a pre-order on that, but don't know when that's going to come out. Sometime in the spring, I shouldn't wonder. As soon as it's a reissue. Now, yeah, like I said, there was a bit of a gap until the next thing arrived, and the next thing that arrived was a pre-order from Kapow. Now, before I go any further, I just want to say, I don't know whether I said this before, but I'm going to say this now. I'm trying to wean myself off Kapow. I've done quite a lot of business with them, but I've also had, over the years, I've had a number of problems with them. I'm not criticising Kapow. Some of the problems were of my making, you know, mistakes that I've made when I've been ordering off their website, you know. Like that time I combined a pre-order with a pre-order deposit, and that screwed all that up, and that was my fault. And then there was another time where I wasn't actually logged in to my account, and I bought a figure, and everything went through as normal, and then when I went into my, you know, my account to check my status of my order, it wasn't there because I wasn't actually logged into my account at the time. And again, that was a mistake that I had made that caused a problem, you know, with my order. But there's been other times where, you know, Kapow have let me down, and I'm not going to go into details. It's minor things, but, you know, these things happen, especially when you're doing lots and lots of orders with one retailer. You're bound to have something go wrong sooner or later, and I guess I've just been unlucky with the few problems that I have had with them. So I'm trying to wean myself off Kapow. But that said, you know, there's a lot of advantages of buying stuff off Kapow. They're a UK-based supplier, dealer. If you order something over £100, then you get free shipping. Though they have released that pre-order of the next character for the Mastermind Creations DJD figure, Moors, which is the Helix figure, and he's like, was it 165 quid? And I was going to do a pre-order deposit on that, but then when I was going through the process of doing the pre-order deposit, it said I had to add the shipping to it, and I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute, this figure's over 100 quid, it should be free shipping surely. Oh no, it counts the pre-order deposit as an order, and because it doesn't amount to over 100 quid, you still have to pay postage on it. And I don't know when the figure gets released whether Kapow reimburse you the postage that you've paid, or they just forget about it, and, you know, you pay postage for something which should have been free postage. So I didn't go down that route. I haven't pre-ordered Mastermind Creations Moors from Kapow because of this reason. I'm going to wait until it comes out and probably get it from some of the trusted eBay sellers who do a lot of third-party stuff, and maybe get it through that way. But anyway, needless to say, I'm trying to wean myself off Kapow, but it is easy to buy stuff off Kapow because they're UK based. And when you do pay shipping, it's fairly cheap. It's not £2.95, whereas you get your people like TFS Express who charge like £5.50 or £6.50 to ship stuff, and you have to ship with them. You know, you get charged shipping with them regardless of how much you paid for your items. So yeah, it's more expensive. But still, when you have to import stuff from outside, you got to weigh all these things up. But anyway, needless to say, something that I pre-ordered back in May, and I basically boom, dropped the money on it as soon as it was the pre-orders went up. Takara Masterpiece MP46 Black Widow, aka Beast Wars Black Arachnia. Now, I bought it because I like Beast Wars, and I want a Black Arachnia, and I need something to go with a boyfriend. Obviously, this is a chug scale figure. This is a Masterpiece scale figure, and she's like, as you can see, she's quite large compared to Silverbolt, and Silverbolt should be, he should be that much bigger. But yeah, so I decided to get her. Robot mode is awesome. It's amazing. It looks like it's jumped off the show. Spider mode, not so much. It's got the old junk in the trunk syndrome. They've had to pack all the legs and stuff into the abdomen section, and it's sticking up in the air rather than laid flat, and it looks a bit odd, shall we say. They had to engineer. Obviously, they had to fit it all into the somewhat compact spider mode somehow, and didn't quite work. The robot mode is amazing though. I mean, it's awesome. It's got all the little spider legs on ball joints. They are kind of loose, but you can fix that quite easily. Comes with a bunch of accessories and a stand, and yeah, it's great. But in the hand, there's not much to it. 110 quid for something which is not much bigger than a deluxe, and it's quite a spindly bot, and it's a lot of money. And is it really worth the price that you pay for this thing? I don't know. It's a Masterpiece, and we all know, like Takara, Masterpiece, they're jacking up their prices because they're official. They can do that. That's just the way they're going. It's a great figure, and a lot of people are gushing over this. I like it a lot, but it's not the best thing that I bought or received this month. So even though it's a Masterpiece and and what it is, it didn't quite get up there as regards to one of my favourite things I got this month. But I still like it, even though it's got its issues. But it's still a good figure, and I don't regret buying it. Also, it came with the little medallion thing or whatever it is, a little badge, and it's got a face on it. It just says MP46 Transformers Masterpiece Takara Tomy. So, and there's not many Masterpiece figures I've got the medal with, or the coin, or whatever you call it. So got one of those. But the figure, it's all right. It's not bad, but it's not great. I mean, I'm looking in the new year to get that transform element, the legend scale one. The spider mode on that is a lot more cohesive, even though it isn't nowhere near as articulated as these, especially with the spider legs. But it's got a bit of parts forming going on, but it does form a more realistic looking spider, and it's just a little legend scale thing. So I'm looking to get that in the new year. But yeah, so Masterpiece MP46, Black Widow, aka Black Arachnia, got hold of her. She arrived after pre-ordering her back in May from Kapow. And then, again, time rolled on. Oh yeah, I got that on Wednesday the 11th, that arrived. So like I said, there's a bit of a gap from buying Omega Supreme on the 1st, and then Wednesday the 11th, Masterpiece Black Arachnia arrived. Anyway, moving on. So, then time rolls on a bit more. Now, pre-Christmas toy hunt. Now, this year, in previous years, what I do is I will book off work the week before Christmas, and I will usually have my pre-Christmas toy hunt on the Wednesday of the previous week to Christmas. That's what I've been doing, and I've been doing that the last couple of years. Unfortunately, this year I wasn't able to do that. The reason being that at work we've had a guy retire, and we're down to a skeleton staff, and it's difficult to book the time off now as and when you want. You know, you have to work around everyone else's leave schedules, and needless to say, someone else had booked off, you know, sometime before Christmas, so I wasn't able to do my usual thing of booking off, you know, the time before Christmas. It also gives me an extended sort of Christmas and New Year period. So this year, my Christmas and New Year's, I finished on you know, Christmas Eve, and I'm starting again on January the 2nd. So yeah, so I don't get as much time off as I would normally do. But anyway, so my pre-Christmas toy hunt, I had to reschedule it. I would have done it on Wednesday the 18th, but I was in work. So in the end, I decided to do it on Saturday the 21st. Now, bit of a thing here, you know, it's the last Saturday before Christmas. You know, you can imagine people will be rushing out to do their last minute Christmas shopping, so that, you know, the shops will be heaving it. And I do my toy hunts around the Coventry area, my pre-Christmas toy hunts. And what I did was I left really early. I left at about 8:30. In fact, I left at 8 o'clock, and I got over to the Airfield Retail Park where Smith's is for, you know, just after 8:30, and then they had they've got B&M stores there that was already open, so I went in there to see what they had. They didn't have any Transformers stuff, but they did have this weird transforming gun thing. It transformed from a rifle into like a cannon thing, and it looked a hell of a lot like Galvatron without his robot mode. It was ever so weird. But anyway, I didn't buy anything in B&M, and I walked up to Smith's, and then went in there for when they opened. And on my pre-Christmas toy hunts, I like to pick up at least 3 or 4 bots going around the various shops in the Coventry area. Obviously, Toys R Us isn't a thing now, sadly. I mean, usually I would do Smith's, then Toys R Us, and then I'd go into the Coventry Town Centre, go to Forbidden Planet, Entertainer, and maybe hit up a few supermarkets on the way. But this year it was a bit of a short haul, and kind of disappointing what I actually picked up. So I went into Smith's, and I had a route through the Cyberverse Spark Armour toys, and got Cheetor. Now, Cheetor, and the reason I went for this, I mean, 1, it's Cheetor, and 2, it's got this Spark Armour that turns into the ship. Here it is on the robot mode. You can't do a lot with it. Once it's plugged on there, I mean, all you can do is just sort of turn. I mean, you can bring that out. You can sort of turn these sort of hand bits around a bit, but it's got a motion there on the head, but it doesn't do a lot. Now, when you unplug it, it all unhooks, and then you end up with the ship, which is fine. And then you get your little cheetah dude, and his robot mode's all right. His robot mode's okay. It's not bad. Looks like him off the show. It's got lots of it's yellow with lots of stripy bits and spotty bits. So yeah, that's fine. But then the transformation, it's pretty simplistic actually. Right. Yeah. So you open that, flip that round. And then you turn them round, fold them in. And then you do something weird with the feet. Fold up the heels and then sort of bend them double. And there you have his cheetah mode. And yeah, doesn't look much like a cheetah to me, because cheetahs are supposed to be, they're quite long in the back. They've got like a long wheelbase for a cat, because obviously when they're running flat out, they don't want their legs, clipping each other while they're running along. So they've got a lot of length, and he hasn't got that length in the back, so he doesn't really look much like a Cheetor. I mean, the Cheetor head's okay, but yeah, doesn't look much like a Cheetor, like a real Cheetor. I mean, the Masterpiece one does a much better job of looking like a Cheetor. But anyway, so yeah, the alt mode slightly compromised. It's got a very simplistic transformation. It ain't that great, but I bought it because I was there. It was there. Oh. Where'd that go? Come on. There we go. So yeah, it's not that great. It's not that brilliant. I bought it because I thought the ship looks kind of cool as a spark armor thing, and it's Cheetor. But yeah, so I bought that, but a bit disappointed in that. And then while I was there, I also picked up Siege Mirage. Now I wasn't intending on getting this guy. I don't know why. I'd seen him before and I'd passed on him, but I thought, well, it's going to be tricky to pick up some stuff that I actually want on this haul. So I thought, well, at least I've got him, even though I didn't really want to buy him. I bought him because I've got a couple of other deluxe Mirages. I've got the Classics one, I've got the Combiner Wars one. I've got a few different versions of Mirage. So I thought, okay, I'll have a go with the Siege one. And it's all right. It's okay. It's not bad. But like I said, I wasn't really intending on getting this toy, so it was kind of like a Brucey bonus. It was there. I bought it. So yeah, I picked him up, and that was it for my Coventry toy hunt. That was all I bought, bot wise. Very disappointing. I didn't see anything else in Smith's. I went into the town centre. Went to Forbidden Planet. Forbidden Planet. I mean, they had Siege Barricade, I've already got him. They had Siege Impactor, already got him. It was a case of all the other bots that I saw were bots that I already had. I bought them, previous hauls, and they were there in abundance, and yeah, so there wasn't anything worth buying, worth picking up. However, when I was in Forbidden Planet, I did make another purchase. And I went and bought these. My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Now these are manga volumes. I've got volume 1 to 6. And the reason why I've bought these is because I'm a bit of a fan of the anime of My Hero Academia. I've got all 3 seasons on DVD. I've got the movie, as well, that they've done, the first movie. I'm watching the episodes of seasons 4 as they get uploaded onto YouTube by various people as they're getting, premiered on, online. But this is like a spin-off series which runs. It's kind of like a prequel, but it also runs parallel to the main story, and it features a bunch of characters who are not registered heroes that are sort of doing their own thing. And there's crossovers with characters from My Hero Academia, most notably, Aizawa or Eraserhead. He's in this quite a lot. There is one of these volumes has got Fat Gum in it, and I quite like Fat Gum. But it's really good, and I've been watching YouTube videos where people have been going on about the lore surrounding My Hero Academia. They've been doing character profiles, and then some people were going into the manga side of it, because the manga is like way ahead of the anime, and so you know the anime is following the manga pretty well. But then they were talking about this Vigilante series, and I wanted to get into it. So while I was there, I bought all 6 volumes that are currently out, and I've over the Christmas period I've read them, and really enjoyed them. They're great. I don't know whether this Vigilantes is going to get animated and they're going to do an anime on it. I don't know. They might do, but it'll be years before that happens. So I know what's going on in that now. I assume there's going to be more volumes of this going forward, so I'll be looking out for them. But that's something else that I picked up on my Christmas toy hunt, even though it's not actually Transformers related. I thought that I'd throw that in here. So that was my Christmas toy hunt. Very disappointing. Only picked up 2 items. One of them's a bit meh, and the other one is all right. But you know, I wasn't planning on getting him anyway. So that was that, and so then Christmas happened. Do you want to know what I got for Christmas? Nothing Transformer related. I got 8 DVDs, 2 boxes of chocolates, a calendar and some alcohol. And if you're interested to know what DVDs I've got them here. So we got Lego Movie, 2nd part, Toy Story 4, Detective Pikachu, 4 Ragnarok, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Aquaman, Avengers Endgame, and Godzilla King of Monsters. So I've seen all of those in the pictures, so I know that they're pretty good. So I was going to get I had these DVDs on my Christmas list, and my relatives got them for me. There was a couple more they didn't get for me, but I went out after Christmas and bought them anyway. But now these will go onto my ever-increasing collection of sealed DVDs that I'm never going to watch. Because I've got a bunch of DVDs I got last year, which I haven't even opened. They're still sealed, and I've never watched them. So yeah, so I managed to get hold of those for my my Christmas box, and that was great. And then Christmas done. It's NEC Toy Fair, December 27th, the last NEC Toy Fair of the year, and yeah, so there we go. Do that. Got me early bird ticket. So what did I get at the NEC Toy Fair? I did my usual thing. Got there nice and early, do an early bird ticket. Met with my friend Richard. Started walking round. Then it was about sort of halfway through, and I saw a guy in the store, got some Transformers on, and I noticed a figure. G1 Slapdash. Now he's reasonably complete. He's got the grey sort of wing cover. He doesn't have the engine cover, and he doesn't have a. Did they come with a gun? If they came with a gun, he hasn't got a gun. He has got his Powermaster. He's a bit grubby, a bit sun faded. I think some of the decals are missing, but he's an okay bot. He's all right. He's got an interesting transformation. I can remember watching a few Adams review on Slapdash that he did recently, and thinking, that's got a pretty neat bot. I wouldn't mind getting hold of one of those. So I managed to pick that guy up. I think I paid, was it 25 quid for him? Then carried on going down the aisles, and then it was about 2/3 of the way through towards the back of the hall, and then there was a guy had a big stall in the middle of the row, facing towards the front, and he had a load of action figures and stuff, and he had this box in the front, this tray or crate in the front with a load of loose G1 and G2 figures all in plastic bags. I was having a root through, and I found something interesting. I thought, ooh, look at this. And then I saw the price on it. I thought, you've got to be joking me. G1 Repugnus for £14. I couldn't believe this when I saw this. Now, again, he doesn't have his gun, but it's G1 Repugnus, man. 14 quid. Is in pretty good nick. All the joints are nice and tight. Transforms okay. And I didn't realise it until I got home, but he's got a sparkler thing built into his head, and it still works. Wow, 14 quid for this. What a steal. Also in this box there was a G1 Ape Face. There was a Snapdragon, but it was missing the tail wings, as they usually are. There was a G2 Clench. I didn't make a play on it, and I kind of regret passing on it. I didn't pick it up. They also had both the Autobot clone bots in there, and the prices he was doing, they were like 10, 15, 20 quid. You know, they were all sensible prices, and 14 quid for Repugnus. Are you kidding me? So yeah, I picked this guy up. Like I said, there were some other bots in that box which I could have made a play on. I mean, this guy, he just got this box of Transformers in, and he didn't know what they were, so he was just chucking them out on his stall for whatever he thought was reasonable price. So, yeah. So if you was lucky enough to go to the NEC Toy Fair and found this guy and had a route through his box, you'd have got some right old bargains. But, yeah, I managed to pick mine up. So, yeah, got hold of him. And then wandered round. I think by that time I'd done all the aisles, and I think me and Richard sat down for our I think did we sit down for our cup of tea then? I think we did. And then after that I said goodbye to Richard because he had to go and see one of his friends, and then I started wandering back through, and I went back to this other guy who had a good bunch of Transformers on his stall, and I was looking at a G1 Predaking, but as I was looking at some stuff in the box down below, someone else came in and bought it, so I missed out on that. But then I was looking at a bot on the front of his stall, and I picked it up, had to go transformed it, and thought, actually, this isn't too bad. Energon Grimlock. Well, actually, no, this isn't the Energon one. This is the Age of Extinction Generations Evolution reissue of Energon Grimlock, because it came in a 2-pack with Age of Extinction Voyager Grimlock, and they threw that in there as an example of G1 style Grimlock, because it's got like a more G1-esque repaint. And for some reason it came with this sword. Now I've had a look on this sword, and I think this sword belongs to Predaking. This belongs to G1 Predaking, and they had the G1 Predaking there, and I can't remember what he had. I think he had a sword, but I think this is the G1 Predaking sword. I'm pretty sure it is. It certainly doesn't belong to this guy. This guy's supposed to have like a transparent sword and a gun, but he had this sword, so I went with it. Now I've passed on this guy before because Energon, right? And it's got that stupid, sort of Power Links gimmick where you can, mash two guys together to form a giant robot, shirt and trousers thing. I don't like that Power Links gimmick. I think it's garbage. But so I hadn't thought about getting this guy before, but I saw him, and also he's in the more G1-esque colours. And he's actually not bad. He's not bad. And I like my Grimlocks because, I've got a few. And it's just another Grimlock mold that I haven't got. So I bought him, and I think he was a tenner. So I'm reasonably pleased with that. And then I went over to the what are they called? The Geekology stall. And they were there again. I was a bit disappointed that Space Bridge weren't there this time. They've been to some of the NEC Toy Fairs earlier in the year, but I think the NEC Toy Fair isn't quite as lucrative for them, and I don't think they bother to do it anymore. But anyway, so then I went back to the Geekology stall, and I was looking at the stuff on his stall, and he got a mixture of, he got some like new in box, some new Siege figures, and then he had some third party figures on the other side. And I was having a look at the loose figures in the box underneath, and I was having a root through, and I found this guy, and I thought, is that who I think it is? Now, recently I've done a search on I can't remember why I was searching, doing an online search for pictures of what was it? It was Power Core Combiner's Steam Hammer, and the pictures that came up showed this other figure that I didn't know it existed, and I thought that looks a lot like Energon Scavenger, but it's not Energon Scavenger, is it? So I did a little bit of research, and it turned out to be Energon Steam Hammer, who's part of the is it Constructicon Maximus Combiner, or the Devastator Maximus Combiner from Energon? It's the core bot. Anyway, so I went and I figured out who it was, and I bought him. So this is Energon Steam Hammer, and actually this thing's really good. I'm not a huge fan of the Energon line. I think the Power Links gimmick is just rubbish. It's just rubbish, let's face it. But they do have some gems in the Energon line. There are some awesome figures in there. Where is he? He's up there. Yeah, like this guy, Energon Sharkticon. He's pretty good. So yeah, it does have. They're mainly on the Decepticon side as well. The good figures, but yeah. So I've got this guy, and I was trying to transform him, but I couldn't figure out how to get the head to pop up. But I eventually figured it out, and obviously because it's a combiner, it's got a secondary head there. So yeah, this thing's pretty sweet. I love it. I love the way it transforms. It's decently articulated for what it is for an Energon figure. I mean, it's got double elbows there. It's got something you can use as an ab crunch. It's got bicep swivels, thigh swivels. The only thing it hasn't got is a moving head, but it's got light piping, and it's got this asymmetrical arm arrangement with this massive, great chompy sort of bucket thing. He's great. So yeah, I managed to pick him up from the Geekology store for 10 quid, and I was really pleased with him. And then while I was there, I also saw something that I'd seen on their store previously, and I had passed on it because I thought it was excessively priced for what it was. But I still had a wad of money in my pocket. I still had about 70-80 quid in my pocket, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I'll show you the box first. Justitoys World's Smallest Transformer Ultimate Fire, or their rendition of G1 Great Shot. So it's like a 6-shot, but in the Great Shot colours. Now, limited edition, 500 pieces, and they was asking 60 quid for it. Now, here he is. It's obviously WST 6-shot mould, but in Great Shot colours. It's very small. It does have quite a lot of die cast on it. It's got die cast torso, die cast leg pieces, so it's got decent weight to it. It does all 6 modes, and they have taken some minor liberties with the mould, obviously because it's been scaled down from the G1. But great little figure. The decals are still in the box; they haven't been applied. So yeah, I picked that up for 60 quid. Again, I was a bit reluctant to pay the asking price for it, but it is a limited edition figure, 500 units. And when I got home, I went online, went on eBay to check and see what the going rate price-wise was for this thing. And there was one guy in America who was doing it slightly cheaper. When you took into account the price he was asking for it and the shipping, when you added those two together, it came out at something like 57 quid. But then there was a couple of other people in the East that was flogging it, and they were asking like 80, 90 quid with the postage. And I think, well, actually, you know what? I've pretty much paid going rate for this thing, so I feel a little better about it because of that. It's still a decent enough figure in itself. It's pretty sweet. You know, doesn't got much in the way of articulation because it's basically a scaled down G1 mold. Let's face it, and we all know what bricks the G1 figures are on the whole. So yeah, but I got him. Paid 60 quid for it. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's all complete with the instructions and the decals and everything. So managed to pick that guy up, and then the final thing that I bought. I still had about, I think it was about 20 odd quid left. And I was wandering around, and this was around about the time they let the public in. So it was gone 10:30. It was getting on for 11 o'clock, and so things was getting busy. And when it gets the NEC Toy Fair, when they let the public in and general admission, and it starts getting busy, I tend to depart then, because I don't like when it gets too busy. It gets difficult to find anything then. So I went back to my mate on the left wall, King Street Collectibles from Wolverhampton. Mr. Rich Zortrider knows who he is. And I usually buy something from this guy. He doesn't have a busting lot of Transformers on his store, but he has a few select items. And I went on there and I was having a rummage through the loose figures on the front of his store, and I found something, and I thought, I know what this mould's based on. It's based on the Revenge of the Fallen Scout class depth charge, but it's not. It's a repaint. So it took me a while to figure out who it was. It wasn't until I got home and did a search I figured out who it was. So it's this guy. It's Revenge of the Fallen Scout class Sonar, and it's a repaint of the depth charge mould, and it turns into like a black stealth ship. And it's a decent figure. I mean, it's one of those Revenge of the Fallen Scout class figures, and we all know they're really neat little figures in themselves. So he's got a decent amount of joints, some decent moulded on him. Okay, so the black does or does not help him with these colours. But no, he's all right. He's okay. I would have preferred it had it been the depth charge version, because he's in this sort of greyish camo scheme, which looks pretty cool. But no, so he's all right. I think I paid 12 quid for that, and that was the last figure I bought. So that's the last figure I've bought this year, and that is the end of this haul. So yeah, that's it. That's my bot buying done for 2019. So all that remains for me to do is do my first and worst. Now, if you've seen my top 12 and worst 12 bots of the year videos, you'll know what's coming. But right, first and worst. Yeah, so I thought that this guy was, pretty much the best thing I got this month. Even though I do like this guy a lot, and also I'm really pleased at picking this guy up at the price that I did. So it was kind of a toss-up between the three. But I think because this is a Titan and it's one of the most expensive bots I bought this year, and he's got a certain amount of playability, he's the winner. He's the best bot I've got this month. And yeah, somebody had to be the loser. It's an okay toy, but I think the robot mode's all right. The Spark Armor gimmick is neither here nor there, but the alt mode's a bit of a letdown. But yeah, I was a bit disappointed with him, so he's the worst. And that, as we say, is that. So yeah, a couple of hours' time we'll be into 2020, and yeah. One thing before I go, obviously, my video last month, obviously I did that thing whereby I was really worried about the FTC Copa thing going through into the new year, and I said I was going to quit YouTube and delete my channel. I then had a change of heart because I learnt a little bit more detail about what was going to happen, and I realised that, wow, by doing a few minor alterations to my channel, I can pretty much carry on as is, and I'm going to be safe from getting these outrageous fines from the FTC. So I've decided to stay on YouTube and keep going. I still think perhaps in the new year or as of tomorrow, YouTube might start picking on YouTubers who they think are breaching the COPA rules. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that. But I'm going to keep going for now. I'm going to keep doing these haul videos every month and buying Korean bots. Now, I haven't bought any Korean bots recently. Last couple of months I haven't bought any. I mean, like this month I didn't do any international packages because, well, it's towards the end of the year, and also because, the shipping times have slowed down considerably since the whole Brexit things exploded, because of the customs union worries, and it's really slowed down the post, and with it being Christmas, you've got the Christmas post to worry about. So I doubt if I'd have got anything before the end of the month if I'd have ordered it in December. So I didn't send out for any international parcels. But come the new year, I've got a few things in mind that I want to get. Like I said, that Transform Element Legends class Black Arachnia. What else is there? Oh yeah, that somebody's doing that third party Mohican. That that little punk bot that turns into a motorcycle from the studio, from the Last Night movie. That's come out now. I might be getting hold of that. And there's a few Korean things I'm looking at getting in the new year. I might start pull the trigger on some big Gestalt sort of copolymer combiner type things. I mean, there's the I'd like to get hold of Magma 6 from the not Hello Car. What's it? It's Tobot Athlon Season 2. I'd like to get hold of him, but though there are knockoffs of that going around, so I'd rather get an original one, but they're really pricey. And then there's the Geomecha Captain Dino Combiner. I might get that, even though it doesn't actually have any robot modes, but it's got lots of parts forming thing going on, but it's got 4 different modes, and it's a pretty cool thing in itself. I might be getting that. And there's some new Mini Force X stuff coming out that I might be getting into. So I'm going to go back to doing my thing with my Korean bots, though I might not be buying 2 bots a month. I might just be only buying 1 a month. We'll just have to wait and see. I haven't decided how that's going to work. But anyway, so I'm going to continue doing my thing, being TFR Wilderness, and hopefully you'll continue watching my videos and join me as we go forward into 2020. So with that said, I wish everyone a happy new year. I've been TFR Wilderness. I'll see you next year. Ta-da.